Today's Small Business Saturday radio podcast is being brought to you by Noretta Family Medicine, cutting through the red tape of healthcare.
Good morning, Columbia, South Carolina, and of course to everyone who is tuning in around the Midlands, outside of the Midlands, perhaps even outside of the state, because we're that big. No, the world is that small, okay? Because the internets have made us all neighbors. So anyway, welcome to Small Business Saturday Radio, where we celebrate local entrepreneurs and small business owners who are building our communities and making a positive impact on our economy. I am Tazima, the owner of Sunrise Artists in Bath and Body, located right here in 5 Points. And today we have a really special show. I'm really excited about it today because Dr. Boylan is going to be hosting the show. She's got two wonderful guests in the studio today. And instead of me telling you guys what the show is going to be about, I'm going to turn it over to you, Dr. Boylan.
Well, thank you very much. I am very excited to be here today. So the show today is about TEDx Congaree Vista. So it's very exciting. So TEDx has been gone from Columbia for about 10 years, and it's back. So I invited two of the organizers here on the show today to tell us about why they thought it was important to bring TEDx back to Columbia and start hosting it again. So our first guest is Shyam Ganesh Babu, and he is the lead organizer of TEDx Congaree Vista. Shyam is a senior, I believe, at the University of South Carolina, and plans to go into a career in healthcare. And then we also have Darsan Easwaramurthy, who's the executive producer of TEDx Congaree Vista. He's also a senior at the University of South Carolina and is majoring in computer engineering. So thank you so much for being on the show today. So welcome.
Thank you for having us. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So in full transparency, I'm just going to say I am one of the speakers.
I'm glad you mentioned that. You want to go into that just a little bit deeper. You're going to be one of the speakers that's featured at this TEDx.
Yes. So
I'm so excited for you, by the way,
I'm
and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
This is a cool accomplishment.
Yeah, thanks. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to be talking about the type of family practice that I have, direct primary care, and I hope my talk is it just really connects with people, all the frustrations that come with healthcare, and hopefully, I'm able to show how my practice and this type of practice all over the country can make a real difference in the primary care community.
Well, I have to say this before you get with your guest real quick. Yesterday, I had a customer in the store, and we started talking about you.
Oh, really?
Yes. I can't remember her name, but she's also one of your patients now. So we started talking about the fact that one of the things that I love about your practice, and I let people know that I was a patient before you even did your private practice,
sure,
that you remind me of what old school doctors and medicine is supposed to be about. And I'm like, I can call her. She knows like when I'm freaking out or like, okay, Tazima, really? Or like today when you called me and I'm like, oh my God, it's a Saturday. I must have cancer. And she's just like, okay, that's Tazima.
Well, that is actually one of the things I'm going to be talking about in my talk is how this, how direct primary care rolls it back. And it's really about providing the service that used to be provided back in the day.
Right. And actually having a real relationship with your patients.
Exactly. That's exactly right. That's it. So I just wanted we can dive in and whoever wants to take this question, but I was talking with somebody recently and they asked me, what is a TED Talk? So if you could describe sort of in your own words what you feel like TED Talks are, or, yeah.
Sure. So the entire idea of TED Talks are to share ideas that are worth sharing. Mm-hmm. Essentially unique ideas that have some kind of impact on individuals. Okay. Usually TED Talks are paired with some kind of story, and it's usually the speaker's story. And so that when you hear this message, it doesn't it's not something you listen to and just forget about it immediately. You kind of pair it with the story, and I think that's what makes it really stand out and really fun to listen to.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think, going through the process of being a TEDx speaker, it has really, there is a process, and I didn't realize there was a process before I applied. So I know stories are really important, and I think that really helps sort of, again, connect with the audience. So yeah, that's great. So then what is the difference between TED Talks and TEDx? So what's different about TEDx versus the original TED, series?
So TED Talks are TED licensed events. So TED itself is a major nonprofit that is international, and TEDx Talks are independent events that lets independent organizers put on a show and a storyline that they want independently wherever they are.
Okay.
And that's the main difference, and that's what allows us being students who are able to get all these amazing speakers and get them on our stage to host an event like this.
Yeah, that's interesting. Are there a lot of rules when it comes to TEDx?
There are.
A lot of vetting. Do you do a lot of vetting? Like, for instance, you don't want to have a soap maker up there.
No, Dazima, you'd be a perfect speaker.
No, that doesn't know anything about soap. So obviously there has to be some type of vetting, right? Where you wouldn't have Dr. Boylan up there speaking about her practice if you had to vet that she actually has one, right?
Yes. And TEDx itself doesn't have too many restrictions, thankfully, on how we vet speakers. It's kind of up to us. And I previously applied to TEDx Charleston and followed their structure for vetting speakers. So we had a written application, and that was due around September, October. We put it out for a couple months, and we had around 260 applicants that had a written application submitted. Oh, wow. And they came from 42 states and 6 countries. And so we did a really good job of spreading the word and getting people interested in our event. From there, we know that written applications, and a lot of times with TEDx Talks, you get folks that are trying to promote their business or have agents. And so we really want to be able to have conversations with these individuals and make sure that what they're saying is true and their story is unique and fun to listen to. So from there, we had 45 interviews that we did. And our entire production team is students. And so we knew that, we might not be the best individuals to select people for such a big platform.
Right.
So we ended up selecting some curation panelists. And these are different professors, professionals, physicians, entrepreneurs, who aren't interested in talking, but interested in curating the speakers.
That's cool right there.
Yeah.
So it is more intense, right, Dr. Boylan?
It is more involved,
more
structured, I would say, than I initially realized. So, so when we come back, I think I want to talk to our organizers about, the whole process and what, and just their learning and learning about the TEDx process and how much time it may take.
And I'd like to know, a lot of people know about TED Talks, like you were saying, and there's a slight difference between TEDx and TED Talks, right? But the whole concept, for someone to come up with that concept, I think is so genius.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it allows, because there are so many different TED Talks that I've watched and learned so much.
Yeah. It's a nice platform.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So anyway, we're about to go into this break, everybody. So you definitely want to stick around. As you can tell, the conversation is extremely interesting. So we're in studio with Dr. Boylan and her guest from TEDx. We'll be right back.
The City of Columbia's Office of Business Opportunities supports small business owners. We help minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses with loans, technical assistance, education, and advocacy. We're here to help business owners avoid mistakes. Contact us with questions and let us help. For more information, call 803-545-3950 or visit obo.columbiasc.gov. Together, we are Columbia.
Are you frustrated with the healthcare system and looking for a change? Then look no further. I'm Dr. Melissa Boylan with Noretta Family Medicine. We are a direct primary care office where we take the time to get to know you. For a reasonable monthly fee, we offer transparent billing and easy-to-access primary care for all ages. Noretta Family Medicine, cutting through the red tape of healthcare. Find out more by visiting NorettaFamilyMed.com. That's NORETA FamilyMed.com.
Are you looking for a luxurious way to pamper yourself? Look no further than Sunrise Artisan Bath & Body. Our plant-based soaps and lotions are designed to provide you with the ultimate experience. Our products are natural and nourishing, leaving you feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. So go ahead, treat yourself with Sunrise Artisan, which is more than a bath, it's an experience. Sunrise Artisan, located at 710 Saluda Avenue in 5 Points, or online at sunrisebath.com. Sunrise Artisan.
Looking for the perfect gift or a little something to brighten your day? Visit A Little Happy at 707 Saluda Avenue in 5 Points. Discover unique gifts, delightful accessories, and one-of-a-kind treasures, all carefully curated by our owner, Ashley Lindler. At A Little Happy, we believe in spreading joy through every item. So come on in, find your happy, and support local. Your next favorite thing is waiting.
All right, and welcome back to Small Business Saturday Radio. We're here with the organizers of the TEDx Congaree Vista event. So it's very fun talking with you guys, and it's interesting because, you know, even though I'm a speaker, I don't really know a lot about the history of starting this event here in Columbia. So, so the first thing I'm going to ask you is about TED Talks. So everybody thinks that TED is somebody's name. It was TED that started these talks. So, where does TED come from?
So TED originates from Monterey, California. So an architecture and designer, I believe his name is Richard Saul. He started it.
His name is Richard? I was one of those people that thought TED was a person.
Yeah. No, so TED actually stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design.
Oh,
and
awesome.
Richard and one of his co-founders, they started it back in 1984, actually.
Wow.
And they wanted to host as a one-line conference, and they wanted to discuss about the convergence of various fields, which happened to be technology, entertainment, and design. And then they had these conferences going on periodically, and then later it was acquired by another great speaker named Chris Anderson in 2001. Okay. Then it peaked globally. That's pretty much the history of TED.
So they literally started it, was YouTube around?
Not back in the 80s, that's
right,
for sure.
That's what I'm thinking. So this is what it morphed into, because everybody knows TED from YouTube videos and stuff like this. Exactly. And so that's the technology part of it, I guess.
YouTube definitely owns a lot of credit for that, for transforming this. Even now, our TEDx event, it is to raise above the local voices that can inspire change. And YouTube is what lets us share it internationally.
And I think something like this was very important prior to YouTube, right? It's where you come together and you're able to hear all these cool ideas.
Yeah.
Now you could just open your phone and it's very easy to hear all these stories. But prior to YouTube, it was something very special, and they realized how special it was. Mm-hmm. So it's their idea was, why are we kind of gatekeeping and hosting these one-off events a couple times throughout the year? Let's give everybody the opportunity to do this. And so that's where TEDx, X stands for independent. That's where TEDx events became a thing. And now we have 3,000 events every year.
Oh, wow. So I get it. So TED Talks was like the mothership, so to speak. And then TEDx allowed this independence of thought, groups coming together and all of that based on where you are, what you're interested in. Exactly. So they weren't. So as a matter of fact, it sounds like what you're saying is that even though they started it with this whole concept of, we shouldn't be gatekeeping these great ideas or whatever, they literally honored that by creating TEDx, right? Because they're not gatekeeping. They're showing you guys and letting you take the reins the way that you see fit. That's pretty fascinating.
Yep, and they still have those really massive TED events. There's usually a ton of celebrities and artists.
Right.
But obviously their tickets are a couple $1,000s, a lot more selective and harder to attend. But all major cities typically have some kind of TEDx platform nowadays.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just curious. You all are busy college students. You know, being a college student these days is not easy. It's very time consuming. You've got classes to take. So, what in the world inspired you all to bring TEDx back to Columbia after 10 years?
Yeah, funny story. I applied for TEDx Charleston. I had worked on a nonprofit that focuses on health education, and we're bringing together college students to have a positive impact on society. So that was my kind of talk idea. That was a great idea. I'm a 20-year-old. It would be a great TED Talk or TEDx Talk. And so I applied last November. Incredible application process. Like, it was just very fun. I was able to meet a lot of people. Unfortunately, didn't make it through. Obviously, it was very selective, but still had a great experience.
Yeah.
At the time, I started to get into LinkedIn as well, and I saw some students at Mercer University had hosted a TEDx event.
Okay.
This was a university-based event. And I figured I'd just reach out and see what that process looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to say it was maybe April, May. I kind of, Columbia is the capital of South Carolina, and we don't have a TEDx event. Greenville has multiple conferences. Charleston has a really established one. It's like, why don't we have it here? So I reached out to Darson just to see. To be honest, I didn't think I'd be able to do it. It was more of just seeing if someone might be interested and seeing where that
helping
goes.
you.
Exactly. And even up until the license and us receiving the license, I didn't really believe in us being able to do something like this.
See, that's why they say be careful what you ask for, right? Because you might get it.
You should definitely thank TEDx Charleston for rejecting Cheyenne for the origin story of
that's
TEDx
a good point. That's a
Congaree
really
Vista.
good point.
That's right. Well, so you mentioned that, you didn't think you could do it by yourself. And so Darson came on board. But how did you build out the rest of the team? Because there is a team. I mean, there are students that are helpful. There are mentors that help with creating the event. So how did you build that team?
So both of us are involved in a couple of kind of independent projects, and I specifically work on nonprofits. So at this point, I kind of established the skills to build teams. But once again, I didn't really believe in the idea. So I reached out in this like small group of top scholars, which are kind of USC's prestigious scholarship. They're kind of the top of the class group of students. And the reason I didn't like make this very public is because I didn't know the feasibility idea.
Sure.
But that's where we met our curation director, and then he had a friend who's now our event manager.
Okay.
So it wasn't like a publicized, like, where we built this team across multiple organizations. It was just kind of a small group that slowly came together through personal connections.
Well, that's pretty good. Yeah.
I could definitely add on to that, just as general advice for other students and college students.
Yeah.
Definitely surrounding ourselves with good people throughout college and leading various organizations with them. For example, our curation director, he and I and our event manager, we all co-founded another student organization, which helps nonprofits build, and we build free websites for that.
Oh,
so
wow.
just all of us, just being in the same room a lot of the time, it definitely leveraged what we could accomplish as a team overall.
You guys, see, this is what gives me hope in the future.
Exactly.
Okay? Because of you and what you're saying and how you're community driven, like working together to make things better. You know what I'm saying? And I think that your generation gets such a hard hit for, so many negative things. And I see just the opposite. I see hope, and it's like, it's just fascinating to listen to you and to see how connected y'all are and how much information you have. I mean, it's inspiring to me. So, I just think this is fascinating.
Well, and I think that they're also sharing, sort of important life lessons. Surround yourself with a good team.
With good people.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a nonprofit though. So how do you get funding?
So that's been a very challenging process for sure. So TEDx gives you a bunch of options to how you solicit money. But we decided to file a nonprofit. So we're a 501c3 nonprofit. And then we have to primarily collect funds through sponsorships and ticket sales. With this being the first time we're doing this with this license, we're forced to just do 100 tickets. We're essentially proving ourselves to TED that we're able to put on an event like this.
Okay.
So we have 100 tickets for $100 each. And then
Which
rest,
are now sold out.
Yes, they are sold out.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
And then the rest comes
I need y'all to help me with my business. It's like, God, dog. Okay. Okay, so you guys have sold out. That's fascinating. Dr. Boylan, I know you're excited about that.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
really cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're showing them that you have some skin in the game.
Exactly.
And that you can meet these basic standards. What's the goal like down the line? Like do those numbers continue to increase? So this time it's 100 people, and then maybe the goal for next year is 200 people. Is that how you build on it?
Yes. So we, going back to the nonprofit part, TED gives us the name and the rights to use the name, and they have some guidelines as well. You did ask about the rules and things like that. Mm-hmm. They have some guidelines that the speeches cannot promote bad science. They cannot be about anything political.
Like the earth is flat.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? It's like, we're all going to fall off the edge. No.
Yeah. And just various things like that. But the nonprofit and things like that, they let that to our discretion. So we being students, we ended up actually founding a nonprofit in Columbia. It's currently named Changemakers Events. But we are going through a very cool rebranding for the name, which I'm not going to disclose right now.
Oh, you have to come back.
Building up the suspense, yes. But we plan on running these major events in Columbia on a yearly basis. We've already applied for the next license. And that is the goal. It's to eventually host up to 500 people in Columbia and have these events every year annually happening. And we also want to make other events possible, like youth TEDx events and things like that as well.
So I'm curious, are you planning on having students continue the process, or are you expanding beyond just USC in the future?
Currently,
or do you know?
We kind of know, but it is going to be changing. Currently, we have students because that's where we found most help so far. But as we grow bigger and bigger, I think there will be more people that are wanting to be involved. Yeah.
I love how you're giving us just enough information to be curious.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Dr. Boylan, you have to bring them back, right? Because, yeah, I want to know now. It's like, so how do you, you guys, you have a minute. So,
yeah.
My question, Dr. Boylan, and you're probably going to ask this anyway. How does one qualify to become a sponsor?
So literally anyone can become a sponsor. We have sponsorship packages on our website, TEDxCongareeVista.com. And you could just go in, and although we're sold out of tickets, sponsors do get admission into the event. So you could just go in, and we have ranges from $500 to $5,000, and you could promote your business in any way you'd like.
Okay. No, you guys got 15 seconds. So
I'm just when we come back, we're going to eventually do a lightning round with our speakers today, or with our guests. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So, okay, listen, this is what's called filling out the time. It's like, we know each other so well, Dr. Boylan. As soon as I knew you were at the period of your sentence. It's like, no, we still got 4 seconds. All right, everybody. We'll be right back after bottom of the hour news, and you don't want to miss what's coming up next.
The City of Columbia's Office of Business Opportunities supports small business owners. We help minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses with loans, technical assistance, education, and advocacy. We're here to help business owners avoid mistakes. Contact us with questions and let us help. For more information, call 803-545-3950 or visit obo.columbiasc.gov. Together, we are Columbia.
Looking for the perfect gift or a little something to brighten your day? Visit A Little Happy at 707 Saluda Avenue in 5 Points. Discover unique gifts, delightful accessories, and one-of-a-kind treasures, all carefully curated by our owner, Ashley Lindler. At A Little Happy, we believe in spreading joy through every item. So come on in, find your happy, and support local. Your next favorite thing is waiting.
Are you frustrated with the healthcare system and looking for a change? Then look no further. I'm Dr. Melissa Boylan with Noretta Family Medicine. We are a direct primary care office where we take the time to get to know you. For a reasonable monthly fee, we offer transparent billing and easy-to-access primary care for all ages. Noretta Family Medicine, cutting through the red tape of healthcare. Find out more by visiting NorettaFamilyMed.com. That's NORETA FamilyMed.com. All right, and we're back. So we always forget about this segment of the show, small business tip of the week. So I don't know. I mean, I would just say keep your ears out, all small business owners and people with ideas, in Columbia.
Oh, that's a good tip, right? Yeah. Right in alignment with TEDx.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have an idea worth sharing, keep an eye out, and hopefully next year, you can apply to be a speaker at the event. So,
and even not just an idea, but if you have an experience, right?
Yeah,
life experiences are the best teachers, I think.
Yeah. These speeches cover all kinds of things, ideas, experiences. I mean, it's just very interesting to hear what people are talking about.
Yeah, this is fascinating. I'm just so fascinated.
So, yeah, that's one of the main things that we actually look at when people apply, how unique their idea is, and oftentimes just your life story can be so unique because everyone's life is different.
Yes.
And if you are just being honest about that and the lessons you've learned, that could often make a great TED Talk.
Yeah. And that's the whole key. I think that we're so guarded now as human beings. We're so afraid of being exposed in a way that is not positive, and with social media, being able to attack people and you don't even know where the attack is coming from. It's made us more isolated, I think. But I also think that there is this movement for people to just be open and honest. Tell the truth about the fact that you fell on your face, but this is how you got up from it. Tell the truth that you made I'm always talking about the mistakes I make in business, because to sit up here and sound like an expert.
Yeah.
And then when somebody actually challenges me on that, and I'm like, blah, 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 because the cool thing about the journey is the mistakes. It's like, but what did you learn from it? What did you learn about yourself? So I think that we're moving away from this idea of perfection and Instagram and Facebook and the other ones. They always show like this perfected life and, I'm skiing in the Alps. And then you find out that was a background drop. And then, you know what I'm saying? Just tell the truth. I want to go to the Alps. I don't know how to ski, or I went skiing and I broke my leg. Just tell the truth. So I think that people are thirsty for that. And that plays right into what you guys are doing, is you're allowing other people to see other people. Just be straight up and confident and what they know and their willingness to share it with others.
I will say the most memorable speeches, and we recently attended a TEDx event, is those that they're very personable and vulnerable. Because I think you hear a bunch of these talks and you're not walking away with all 16 messages just memorized, right? Down the line, you're going to know their story. And because of that story, in your head, the message is implied, right? You're not memorizing the message verbatim. It's just how you interpret it through their story.
Yeah. And the other part of that is the human connection.
Exactly.
I think it shows the beautiful thing about life is that we can be vulnerable. And that's a part of life, right? And I think that people conflate being vulnerable with being weak. And that's not true. In fact, I think it takes a lot of strength to be vulnerable, right? So when we're sharing our stories, not only am I showing you a part of who I am, but chances are you're going to be able to relate to something in my story.
Exactly.
Which on the bigger picture shows how we're all connected.
Yeah. And I want to say that this may sound like an intimidating process, like sharing your vulnerabilities and things. And how do you do that? How do you figure out how to do that? Well, there's actually a whole process. There's a whole process in place that kind of an outline to help guide you through the process of creating a TEDx talk. So there's a lot of help out there that the team here has provided mentors and just lots of resources to help us.
But you know what? I think that being vulnerable is not, for somebody, they could have a great story, but for them feeling vulnerable is sharing that story in front of like 1,000 people because they are afraid to speak in front of large crowds, right?
Right.
So to be able to get up there and to just start right off with, you know what, I'm really that person that's afraid to do this, but I want to do it because, you know, I love the concept. I just think that little piece right there is just so.
It's the hook.
Yes, right? Just tell the truth.
So speaking about these stories and speakers and everything, you are college students again, and you are leading a group of speakers that are not college students, right? We're all professionals. We're all, older than you, probably all of them. So how in the world, what kind of leadership skills have you all developed personally or what have you figured out in your time of doing this that may not have been taught to you in school?
I think we very early on realized that we're just college students, and we're dealing with professionals who, I think there's just a lot of nuance in dealing with 16 different 16 different professionals from various different fields. So with this, I think a good skill to have was being able to pivot quickly and receive feedback and pivot based on that feedback.
Yes.
So some of the challenges we had very early on in our curation process was, I personally have worked a lot with younger students. And so the training model that I had set up with the help of the others was very student friendly. It was a little bit more structured, a lot more rules and deadlines. And we very quickly realized through getting feedback, which I think a lot of people don't do as much as they should.
That's
I think it's very important to receive a lot of feedback.
I can tell you think that because you have asked for feedback along every step of the way, and it's been great.
Yep, and it hurts, not going to lie, to receive criticism, but it's very important. And so receive criticism where if you have all this structure, it's hard to be vulnerable and share your story, and you kind of put everybody in one box. And so we really wanted to create a creative and safe space for our speakers. So at that point we pivoted, and it was pretty quick. It was over a weekend of receiving feedback. We, by the next week, had a new plan in place, and that was reduce the structure, reduce the deadlines, and even reduce the number of trainings that we had scheduled. Instead, make 3 kind of longer training sessions, and this would just be a creative space for people to talk to one another. And rather than having all these people during these sessions providing a lot of feedback, we just have 4, we call them cheerleaders, essentially, who are kind of helping you brainstorm and just cheering you on to kind of point you in the right direction of how to do things.
Yeah, I've just been so impressed with your ability to pivot, because it's such a tough skill. You go in and you think that you have the process set the way that it's going to work, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, this isn't going to work. And so just your team's ability to have shifted and helped speakers in ways that you weren't expecting to have to do that. It's just been really impressive and very helpful as well, I think, to all of us. So yeah, everybody's been very impressed. So
thank you.
So I have, in addition to developing the skills of being able to pivot quickly, I'm sure that you've had to, through the process of putting on this event, had to learn a lot of business skills as well, because you started a nonprofit, and there's marketing, there's, budgeting, there's stage management, all those things. So what are some other skills that have been developed throughout this process for you all?
There's a lot, and those are a lot of new skills. I will say all of our production team members have some kind of experience. So I personally started 2 nonprofits already, so kind of knew what that process looked like.
I see. Okay.
With these nonprofits, we've also raised a significant amount of money, so having that also helped. The reason senior year, I was able to put this on with the help of others is because we all collectively knew that we had established the connections and the skill set to put this on. I think it would be very challenging just as a student, like freshman year, without developing the skills and connections to put this on.
Right.
And then it's also one of the reasons why we didn't do a university TEDx event.
Okay. I was wondering about that.
Took the big leap and figured we'd do a standard event for the city.
Okay.
And Darson has a for-profit company, if you want to talk about that, but each individual has started something and has a ton of experiences.
And a lot of people don't know how hard it is to do a nonprofit. the paperwork alone is so intimidating, and depending on how you do it or how you're setting it up, it could also be a long process, right? Before you get that letter that says, yay, you made it. So that's kind of creepy. You know what? Do you guys apply for grants or anything like that? And if so, do you have on your team like grant writers and stuff? Because that's another process that's really challenging.
Yeah, so to add on, like a lot of the skills that we're currently using, it's not something that we've learned in class, but it is through other involvement and things like that. For example, yes, I do have a for-profit company. It is a technical startup that I have, but other members in the team, they've also worked in other companies. They've set up stages or some event marketing, things like that for other conferences, so which definitely helped us. And then the grant, we're constantly looking for things like that, and the university has been pretty supportive as well.
There are a lot of regulations, so we can't crowdfund, unfortunately. So
oh wow,
people can individually donate, but we can't set up like a donation page where a ton of people try to donate.
Right.
There's a lot of gray area too, so I think we have to be creative. But grants themselves, I'm not sure if it really falls under TEDx guidelines.
How is the city receiving this, like the mayor and everything? How are they involved in any kind of way, or have they given you any kind of feedback?
They are a little bit, and we tried our best to get the city involved as much as we can. It is definitely challenging because we're bringing this back for the first time in 10 years. They don't really know what to expect, and we also don't have proof of like video proof that we're able to put on a successful event. So even with the university and the city, there's a lot of hesitation, like, is this something I should invest in, right, long term? So I'm thinking it's going to be a lot easier once we establish this.
That's right.
It's interesting, though, that that might be the city of Columbia. But what about there is a mayor that's one of the speakers? So,
oh, really?
Yes. So the mayor of Casey, Ms. Elise
Partners,
oh,
wow. Okay.
will be a speaker at our event as well. And there are various businesses that are reaching to help out and things like that. But again, this is our first time doing it, so we didn't expect as much as we expected for this, but definitely we see a lot of interest coming up for the future years.
Yeah, so I bet next year Mayor Daniel, he'll be there.
We've asked him to open our event, so we'll see. We're still waiting to hear back.
Oh, okay. I'll text him.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to do this.
It is on the same day as St. Patty's on 5 Points.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay,
if
wait
he shows
now.
up, he might be in a green suit.
You know, that's funny because, as you guys know, I have a business in 5 Points, and I actually sit on the board of directors for 5 Points. So anything that's competing with 5 Points, no, I'm teasing. I can do both. Okay. So anyway, here you go. Your commercial break.
Yes, we'll be back in a minute.
The City of Columbia's Office of Business Opportunities supports small business owners. We help minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses with loans, technical assistance, education, and advocacy. We're here to help business owners avoid mistakes. Contact us with questions and let us help. For more information, call 803-545-3950 or visit obo.columbiasc.gov. Together, we are Columbia.
Are you frustrated with the healthcare system and looking for a change? Then look no further. I'm Dr. Melissa Boylan with Noretta Family Medicine. We are a direct primary care office where we take the time to get to know you. For a reasonable monthly fee, we offer transparent billing and easy-to-access primary care for all ages. Noretta Family Medicine, cutting through the red tape of healthcare. Find out more by visiting NorettaFamilyMed.com. That's NORETA FamilyMed.com.
Are you looking for a luxurious way to pamper yourself? Look no further than Sunrise Artisan Bath & Body. Our plant-based soaps and lotions are designed to provide you with the ultimate experience. Our products are natural and nourishing, leaving you feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. So go ahead, treat yourself with Sunrise Artisan, which is more than a bath, it's an experience. Sunrise Artisan, located at 710 Saluda Avenue in 5 Points, or online at sunrisebath.com. Sunrise Artisan.
Looking for the perfect gift or a little something to brighten your day? Visit A Little Happy at 707 Saluda Avenue in 5 Points. Discover unique gifts, delightful accessories, and one-of-a-kind treasures, all carefully curated by our owner, Ashley Lindler. At A Little Happy, we believe in spreading joy through every item. So come on in, find your happy, and support local. Your next favorite thing is waiting.
All right, and welcome back. I think we're in our last segment already of Small Business Saturday Radio, and I just want to remind everybody, too, we have a podcast. So this is, sure, we're on live now, but if you wait a few days, it might be, we're going to be posting all of our radio shows on our podcast page, which you can find on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, where else, Tazima? Okay, iHeartRadio, that's right. Yeah.
I'm so excited. I mean, so our engineer for the podcast is definitely making sure that we're on all these different platforms and currently working on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm excited that's going too.
That's exciting. Yeah. So, yes, thank you for reminding, because, I'm often forgetting that part.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
yeah. Well, yeah, I just want to say thanks to our guest today from TEDx Congaree Vista for being here. Why don't you tell everybody about where and when the event will be and the website and things like that?
Yeah, so the event, we've scheduled it for March 14th. It'll be at the Columbia Convention Center. And it'll be from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., so it's almost a full-day event.
Okay.
And our website, you can find more information, is at TEDxCongareeVista.com. And you can also go to news.TEDxCongareeVista.com and subscribe to our newsletter for more live updates and trailers and teasers about the speakers and things like that as well.
Great. Okay.
So you only do it once a year? Or do you have twice a year? So this event is held only once a year.
The license for TEDx Congaree Vista is a one-time event license that we have.
Oh, gotcha.
But we have to reapply for next year's license, which we've already applied for.
Right. Okay, that's
it'll be a yearly event after that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So the tickets are sold out. So how can people that are listening still find out and listen to the speakers' speeches?
Yes, we will live stream the event, and then there's also going to be recordings, and we can't put the recordings on YouTube ourselves. There's a kind of vetting process where TEDx will vet your talk, and then hopefully they will post your speech or talk on their TEDx platform on YouTube.
How many speakers are at the event?
There's 16 speakers, and we're expecting around 170 guests the day of.
Okay. Now I got to decide. Am I going to be at the same No. No, this is exciting. I mean, congratulations to you two, specifically to you for coming up with the concept of bringing it to Columbia and then meeting you, and then you're adding that extra to the package, and now you guys have a whole team. That's just impressive. How long did this take, actually, like from idea to full manifestation? How long did it take you guys?
So we started talking in May. We submitted the application in June. And during this application, we have to submit 3 kind of talks that we come up with on our own or through people we know. It's essentially 3 talks to kind of explain what our event is going to highlight. And then we heard back pretty quickly, I'm not going to lie. I want to say mid-July. And then we put out speaker applications pretty quickly by August 1st.
Wow. That means it was supposed to happen.
That's right, yeah. So why don't you explain about sponsorships again? Are those still available, and how do people get involved with that?
Yes, and we are still trying to raise some money for our event in the next couple of weeks. And so we have multiple sponsorship levels ranging from $500 up to $5,000. With $500, we can provide tickets to the event. There's tabling opportunities and opportunities for social media shout-outs, website information that we could put out. Our newsletter has around 500 folks on there, so that's also a place we could promote your business. And then there's also a lot of space for flyers and posters day of. With the $5,000 sponsorship, we can actually name one of our sessions after your business. And so the entire session, we're going to kind of repeatedly talk about your business. There's a lot of space to highlight there. And then obviously with all of these sponsorship packages, the idea is that if you get involved with TEDx Congaree Vista now, you'd get a one-up for getting involved in the future TEDx events that are going to be significantly larger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really neat. I think it would be great for businesses to, promote themselves with this such a reputable, TEDx event.
Absolutely, yeah. This is really cool. So you're going to do the lightning round.
Dun, dun. Yes. All right. So I think maybe each of you can answer the questions whenever I ask them. So, all right, Shyam, one word to describe your last month.
Hectic, for sure.
Okay, I can understand that. Darson, one word to describe your last month.
Chaotic.
Okay, yeah. All right. All right, Sham, what is the most unexpected skill you've gained through this process?
Oh, that's good.
I think receiving feedback. I've always been very, I kind of knew the importance of receiving feedback, but I've never received it on such a large scale. And it's been humbling, but also an incredible learning process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Darson, unexpected skill.
Large scale budgeting, negotiating, bargaining.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
like that,
I mean, these are all
absolutely
very valuable business skills.
Yes.
All right, Sham, best moment so far.
Definitely our speaker trainings. Hearing some of these talks come together, you get a very brief sneak peek about how powerful this event is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't heard any talks in its entirety yet, and that's kind of intentional. I kind of want to, during the event, I've assigned myself with no roles or no work. I'm going to sit in the back and take everything in. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Just from the early, beginnings of our speeches, I heard a few minutes and I was just impressed with everybody. So I think it's going to be great. All right, Darson, best moment so far.
For me, there are many throughout this year, but I would definitely also say the speaker trainings, because I'm seeing all these great, famous, really smart people that are coming together, respecting our time, and they're bringing their time to us, and they're actually supporting us as well. It is their speech, but again, we appreciate all the respect that they have for us as well.
Well, we appreciate you, really. It's been great. All right, Shaya, most stressful moment so far.
Definitely now. So production and sponsorship and all of it is coming together. With this being first time event, I think our budget has been pretty restrictive. And we're trying to start this with a splash, kind of a big impact event. Yeah. And with that, obviously, you need significantly more funds. And with this being the first time, it's been a challenge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Darson?
For me, yes. Yeah. Also right now, this moment, every day leading up to the event will get more and more stressful.
Yeah.
And Darson's doing all the production and stage design. I can't imagine how stressful that is.
And again, trying to hold down a college education as well, which is impressive. Yeah. So, all right, last one. Shyam, one myth about TEDx that you want to bust.
That TED is not human. No.
I want to say most people think that it's for entrepreneurs or someone who's written a book or on a podcast. But it could literally be anybody. You could be a student who has had a personal experience that's worth sharing. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be a celebrity or someone that's owned a incredibly successful business. It's literally a platform for anyone who has a unique story to share, and that could be anybody.
Yeah. All right. And Darson, how would you answer that? A myth that you want to bust?
I would say you don't need to be someone that is super experienced to put an event like this on. I was going to say a similar thing about giving the speak, but looking at the production team right now, you can be anyone that wants to bring change to your community, that can take initiative and ask for help.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
I love it.
Yeah.
I am so impressed with this show today and our guest. Thank you, Dr. Boylan, for actually bringing them into studio and you guys sharing your experiences with all of us, because it is absolutely amazing. And what I would like to put on the table, Dr. Boylan, you guys have got to come back, all three of you, after the event.
Oh, yeah.
So that we can talk about what it was like, what happened, what did you think about the topics that were going on, And I just want that update. And I think the audience would love that update too.
Yeah, although me as a speaker, I think I'm going to be crouched in a corner, like shaking the entire time. So
no, she won't. You see how good she is. She does not know how good she is.
And hopefully we only have good things to say during
that. You will. I mean, what is going on with you guys? You're talking about crouching in the corner. You're like, hopefully it'll be. Listen, this is going to be great. First of all, you're providing a wonderful service to the city. Then you're giving people opportunity to be out there and share their experiences. There's no way this can't be great. I would be surprised if y'all came back and everybody was like, ooh, it didn't work out.
No, they've got a plan. They are, if I didn't know you were students, I wouldn't be able to tell. I mean, you are organized and you know what you're doing. So, yeah, it's been great.
Which is extremely impressive for someone. I am the least organized person you know. And probably the worst person when it comes to tech, too. I mean, really, seriously. I had my phone ringer off, and for a week I couldn't understand why it wasn't ringing until my daughter showed me there's actually a button on the side of your phone that you're supposed to push. But you guys are amazing. So I really do look forward to part 2.
Yeah.
And maybe then you can share with us the information, the secretive information that you said, I can't tell you now, okay? If I tell you now, I'll have to kill you. No. It's like, so this is really awesome. So Dr. Boylan, you want to close it out? Or because we've got 30 seconds.
Yeah, so I just want to invite everybody to tune into the live stream of TEDx Congaree Vista on March 14th, starting at 10 a.m. And if you want to hear interesting things that are going on in Columbia, people that want to make change and have ideas, big ideas, this is the place to do it. So, yeah, thank you to our guests, Darson and Shyam. Thanks so much for coming in, and I really look forward to being one of your speakers.
Yep, thank you for having us, and thank you for all your support.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, you guys, everybody out there listening, yes, the show will be up on the podcast, but in the meantime, have a wonderful weekend, and we'll be in studio next Saturday.